Hey there, Bloomers and friends. Rev Kev coming to you from the Bloom office. This time around, I'm coming to you on Ash Wednesday 2020, the first day officially of Lent, which is the 40 days prior to Easter, excluding the Sundays. We always remember that Sundays are not included in the time of Lent. Lent is not something that's in the Bible. It's something that was created by the church to have as a preparation time for people who would want to be coming into the Christian life, and it was thought to be a time of preparation, patterned after Jesus going into the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, being tempted by the forces that were tempting him, and then coming out and beginning his ministry and carrying on with the rest of his life on earth. And so that pattern of 40 days, actually a pattern of 40, is significant in sacred texts as a really undetermined period of time. But that was a time that Jesus spent in the desert. And so that 40 days and 40 nights is meant to be a time of preparation for Christian discipleship. It was typically then that people would be received on Palm Sunday or Easter, but certainly be ready to everybody celebrate together the great Alleluia in Easter. I've just learned recently, I knew that there were restrictions in various denominations, like, for example, some churches don't put any flowers on their altar, churches that have altars or their worship center or communion table, throughout the time of Lent. Other churches pare things way back, but they don't totally strip that area until on Good Friday and then redress it for the great unveiling on Easter. And then in some church traditions, the word Alleluia is not uttered throughout the period of time of Lent. In fact, I learned just recently that in the Orthodox tradition, they take actually a setting or a picture or a carving of the word Alleluia, and they bury it in the yard of the church, and then they dig it up for Easter, and Alleluia, it is risen. We're not going to be doing that, at least this year, but I just think that it's interesting for us to know that there's all these kinds of traditions that go on in the world as we understand it for this period of time called Lent. In our tradition, we do not have particular dietary laws or recommendations. Oh, I just learned that the Archbishop of Chicago, I just read this today, the Archbishop of Chicago said that, in Catholic tradition, it's meatless Fridays, or no meat during Lent, eat fish on Friday. That's where fish sticks came from. That's where the McDonald's fish witch came from. But it is now there's the burgers that are made with like a veggie burger, or another kind of burger made from plant-based, or I can't think of the name right now, but there's the miracle meat, something like that it's called. Well, the Archbishop of Chicago has ruled that a burger is a burger is a burger is a burger. If it acts like a burger, it's a burger. So therefore, it's not okay in Lent. That's the way some things can go. Well, we don't have those kinds of restrictions. In fact, our encouragement is not that you give up, but that you give. And in that sense, it's an aspect of this is an opportunity to reflect and be generous. Be generous with your time. Be generous with your help. Maybe be generous with your money. It is a way in which it is a time in which we understand our spiritual practice as being developmental rather than restrictive. And that's how we approach it at Bloom. We also know that there's this concept of ashes on a forehead or hand, and that's a representation of, from dust you came, and to dust you will return. And we modify that. I've heard other people do it elsewhere. I particularly came into that realm through the mentorship of Greg Dell at the Broadway United Methodist Church, where we say, and said then, and I continue to say, from stardust we came, and to stardust we will return. Because that's really the full cycle of what it is in the midst of our creation. So that's what's happening today. And also, you'll notice, I asked Russ to place the camera there. You see that unlike other times when you see Bloom Tube and my desk is all clean, either it is clean because I've cleaned it off or it's simply because I've covered everything. Today, you just see messy Rev Kev, messy desk Rev Kev. And that's simply because we've got a lot going on. I'm very excited to be working with Rabbi Lazar in this Aging to Saging book study. We're having a great time. I've been working to prepare worship services through the month of March. It's Women's History Month, so we're trying to have a commitment that every one of the hymns we sing in the month of March will be written by a woman. And I'm also trying to have it be that all the prayers are either about women or composed by women. Not that, in that sense. We also are going to have a Women's Sunday like we've had, but let's have it be the whole Women's History Month. Just like Black History Month was created not only to teach other people about Black history, it was also meant for blacks to affirm their own history to each other. So it is with Women's History Month, that it's not only to teach men about women's history, but it's also for women to learn their own history. And so we'll do whatever we can to encourage that in our church life. And we have our Ash Wednesday service tonight, which is the first one where our choir is going to participate, and under the leadership of Reverend Dr. Stephen Wales. That will already have happened, but it's exciting to know that we've got that sort of development with our new worship ministry coordinator, Reverend Dr. Stephen Wales. We're going to be getting some new computers finally approved in the fall congregation meeting last year. We finally have an approved proposal, or a proposal that your officers, especially Jack and I, have met with a consultant, and we're talking about getting ourselves updated and ready for the next decade in that realm. And I don't know what else is on here, but that's what's going on. Multiple screens open. It's just kind of a messy desk day for Rev Kev. We hope you'll be with us this Sunday in worship. It is Communion Sunday. We're looking forward to spending that time. I will be preaching, and we are looking forward to that time being truly communion, when we are in the presence of one another in a realm of seeking justice and offering compassion to each other. If you can't be with us in body, please be with us in spirit. Perhaps you can join us on Facebook Live at 10 a.m. In any way, please keep us in your prayers.